This is in focus. Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, here we go. All right, let's get the bad boy started. All right, so there we go. Is that better? Everybody hear me? It's good?
Yeah.
Okay, listen. When you come to one of my panels, whenever I ask you guys a question, okay, it always has to be answered with yays, nays, boos, whatnot. No raising your hand, no nods of like, you know, self-consideration and stuff. No, I want you guys to cheer. So you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so cool. Again, welcome. Again, welcome to ChibiPa Sampler. Welcome to my Kingdom Hearts fan panel. Who here is a fan of Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, okay? So we're recording this for YouTube. This is going to go up on my YouTube channel. We're going to show it to a bunch of other Kingdom Hearts fans around the world, possibly. Okay, this is going on the Gamers with Games channel. I will talk all about that shameless promotion later on, but let's get to the good stuff. Okay, so in case you guys don't know who I am, and this is probably either your first Chibi-Pa or your first convention panel or your first time meeting me down here, my name is Jake James Lugo. I'm a games journalist. I'm a games, entertainment journalist. I write about video games. I write reviews, previews, all kinds of stuff. I do videos for YouTube. I do videos for different websites. I freelance. I do all kinds of stuff. My stuff's been printed on thecoalition.com, Pixelkin. Some of it's been on IGN, and then hopefully, God willing, other places as well. But the reason why I'm here today is because I want to talk to you guys about Kingdom Hearts. I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. I've grown up with the series since the very, very beginning. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have. Who here grew up with Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
There we go. There's a good number of people. Okay, so everybody loves Kingdom Hearts. Again, we're going to define it, we're going to explore, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the good stuff, maybe a little bit of the bad stuff, and some of the different things surrounding the development of Kingdom Hearts, the series, not just the game. I know I have just the logo up here, but we're going to talk about everything related to Kingdom Hearts. So, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, so let's get started. What is Kingdom Hearts? Now, besides all of you guys that have played it, okay, we're going to do this for the noobs. So we know there's one Moogle noob out here. There's somebody out here that's a noob. But what is Kingdom Hearts? And the best way that I would define the Kingdom Hearts series is that the Kingdom Hearts series is an action RPG story crossover featuring characters from the worlds of Disney and Square Enix. Now, to some of you out there, that might be a little bit different because most people out there, including myself for a very long time, really believed or really kind of like understood that Kingdom Hearts was a blending of Disney and Final Fantasy. Now, mostly these days, especially with some of the more recent releases, that isn't the case anymore because there's more than just Final Fantasy now, okay? Anybody here play Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go, okay. Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance has characters from The World Ends With You, am I right?
Yep.
Anybody play The World Ends With You? Anybody looking forward to the sequel? Yeah, Neku. Anybody looking forward to the sequel?
Can't wait.
There's already talk of a sequel that's been rumored around for a while from Square Enix for The World Ends With You, but stay focused. Anyway.
Back to Kingdom Hearts.
Back to Kingdom Hearts. So that's the best way that I would actually describe it, how I would define the Kingdom Hearts series, because it's pretty much Disney's properties and Square Enix's properties at this point. Not only it gives them a little bit more breathing room to add more characters and more worlds and more nuances that are pretty much beyond just the typical Final Fantasy games, it just allows more cool stuff to happen with the games. Am I right? Yeah, that's very cool. Who remembers that section of Kingdom Hearts 1? The very beginning of the game when you go to Traverse Town, right? Remembers that?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember how you felt when you first saw Leon, or Squall for my pure Final Fantasy fans out there? When you first saw Leon, and you first saw that Golem Blade, weren't you like, oh my god, like...
I want it!
Yeah, cause for me, it resonated a little bit more because Final Fantasy VIII is my favorite Final Fantasy. You know, for the gunblade, for the music, all kinds of stuff. It's not the best Final Fantasy, but that's a whole nother panel for 3 hours. So, but anyway, that's how I would define the Kingdom Hearts series. Now, there's a couple of like specific things about the series and all the games in some part or another that really are kind of like series staples. Number one, it's a one-player RPG. Now, I know there's multiplayer with some of the other later games, but again, just bear with me for a second. Over 30 hours of gameplay. Again, some even more. Again, really depends on if you're going for that 100% journal completion with Jiminy's Journal. Anybody here complete Jiminy's Journal?
Yep, every game.
Okay, let's separate the adults from the kids. Who completed Jiminy's Journal in every single game?
Hi.
Like 2 dudes. It's like, yeah, I got that, son. I got that. But yeah, over 30 hours of gameplay, a lot of game in there. For that $60 or however much that you spend, you're getting a lot of game in there. It's so much. so much fan service, so much good original stuff, because it's not just Disney characters or Final Fantasy characters. Remember, you're getting original characters as well. Original worlds, original content, original gameplay elements that make it different from just any typical Square Enix Final Fantasy game. Remember, Final Fantasy games are turn-based RPGs, right?
Yep.
So traditional, I'm talking about like 1 through 10, okay? Let's stick with the time frame here. We're not talking about tactics, we're not talking about Crystal Chronicles, Dissidia, even though I love Dissidia.
Dissidia's best Final Fantasy.
isn't turn-based anymore.
So traditionally, Final Fantasy games have been just turn-based, but Kingdom Hearts mixed it up. It was an action RPG. This is real time. Like when you want to go hit something, you can go hit something. You don't just hit a button and just sit there and wait.
Parasite Eve was like that too.
Yeah, exactly. So again, you got many characters from cameos for all different types of classic characters from between Disney and was it Square Enix? Pretty much not just Final Fantasy, Square Enix characters that are really recognizable, that have a following. Everybody, here's a fan of Mickey Mouse? Who here is a fan of Donald Duck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my Donald Duck fans. You know what's up.
Best mage.
That's for you, Jared.
Best mage outside of Minnie.
No, good. And it's an inside joke. I'll talk more about it later, but that's an inside joke. But.
After the panel.
Okay, moving on. Yeah, Goofy's okay. Yeah, I love Goofy too. Goofy's my tank in the games, by the way.
Of course.
My man's a tank. That Goofy tornado. Who remembers the Goofy tornado?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
He is such a waste of
My
items.
man is a tank.
Don't give him
His last weapon's hard to get in all the games. In all the games that Goofy is featured, he's a very pain in the butt to get his final weapon, but still, my man's a tank. So besides that, again, we got orchestral music. Orchestral music, you know, beautiful sounding tracks that is synonymous with Square Enix, synonymous with the Final Fantasy series. Beautiful stuff. Who here knows who Yoko Shinomura is?
Yep.
You guys, you don't remember, you're supposed to scream.
Yeah.
Yes, Yoko Shinomura fans, you guys love her music, right?
Of course.
There we go, yeah. If you guys didn't already know, okay, and I'm pretty sure some of you have, especially if you did research on it, Yoko Shinomura also did the tracks for Street Fighter 2. Anybody know that? Yeah, some people didn't know that before, yeah. She knows what's up. And she also did a lot of, if you guys ever played Super Smash Bros. For Wii U recently, the Ryu DLC came out. She actually did an original remix of the original Street Fighter 2 track just for that game. So she knows what's up. But again, moving on from there, we got over close to about 10, 11, maybe 12 games in the series. Now, you gotta understand, it's actually, multiple releases of the same game, because we got Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD Remix, Chain of Memories, Chain of Memories. Okay, again, Final Mixes for pretty much every single game in the series. So we're talking like almost 20 games, but we're being generous. Okay, so it's a lot of games in the series, but there's a lot of story, a lot of overarching plot going on between all the games. If you don't play one of them, you're missing something. Okay, it's like a season of Lost. If you miss an episode, you're done. That's it. Or Game of Thrones, you're done. Like, somebody died? Really?
Well, at least with Lost, you know if you miss something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's right there in the title.
So, but yeah, there's a lot of games in the Kingdom Hearts series that are synonymous with a whole bunch of different things involving Final Fantasy, Disney, a lot of meat in those games. Again, 30 plus hour RPGs times 10, that's a lot of game there. Okay, and that's some hardcore fans to stick with it for that long. Also tells you the quality of what you're getting from Square Enix. Okay, again, most of you guys, you said you grew up with, was it Kingdom Hearts as a franchise? Again, you've probably seen Sora growing up since the first game all the way up to now, who's excited for Kingdom Hearts 3? Yes. Okay, so you guys know what's up.
I just finally finished Kingdom Hearts 2, right?
Oh, yeah, there you go. So yeah, new players, new game, new experiences. Here's an even better one. Here's an even better one before we continue. So here's an even better one. Who's excited? Who's excited for Kingdom Hearts Key?
Oh yeah.
Let's see who knows what's up. Who's a real fan? One dude. One dude. He's like, yeah. Everybody's looking at him like, what the hell are you talking about?
I need the Keyblade War to me now.
Okay, so these right here, in case you guys didn't know, these are all the main North American released games, okay, that are canon, part of the main overarching story for the Kingdom Hearts series. Again, there's some that are absent at the current moment, and there's one that hasn't come out yet, but I included it there for obvious reasons, okay? There's a total of 8 games here, okay, that goes from Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories, or Chain of Memories, if you want to play on the PlayStation 2. Kingdom Hearts 2, also on the PlayStation 2. All these games on PlayStation 2, okay? And keep in mind, these have Final Mix versions, which are like better, more content, they have tweaks and stuff. Again, just stick with me here. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, a prequel to the first Kingdom Hearts that originated on the PSP, a system that everybody bought for emulators, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Okay, and maybe this game. Okay.
No, just Idia.
And to see it too. But it actually, again, this game also has a final mix version that was only released in Japan for a long time, but we'll talk about that later. Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, okay? Again, a prequel to part 2 after Chain of Memories, but it also tells the story between those games of what happened to a specific character. Again, it's gonna get very complicated, so just bear with me. Kingdom Hearts Recoded, again, I'm just kind of jumping all around. Recoded, another one that happens right after Kingdom Hearts 2. That tells the story between what's going on there, and then the next game, Dream Drop Distance, which is on the 3DS. Who has a 3DS?
Yeah, I got it.
Anybody got a 3DS? Yes. Did you guys buy a 3DS specifically for Dream Drop Distance?
No.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Y'all bought it for Super Mario 3D Land, don't lie.
Oh, heck no. Kid Icarus.
Persona Q, yeah, exactly.
Kid Icarus.
So, besides that, okay, and then obviously we had Kingdom Hearts 3. You're beautiful. Yeah. Gonna sit there with your actual game and just look at it and talk to it. But yeah.
Take it on the date.
Besides the game that hasn't come out, Kingdom Hearts 3, these are the main canonical games in the overarching plot of the Kingdom Hearts series. Play these games and you will know exactly what is going on. You can play some of the other titles, the remixed and the final mix versions of these titles, to get even more story, even more game, even more good stuff specific to each game. That's kind of like an expansion of what was already there. That's already good, such. But again, take notes, whatnot, just play these games and you'll love it. Because they're that good. So, the main story. Everybody here knows the main story of Kingdom Hearts, right?
Yeah.
Most of you guys do, okay? So we're gonna put it here for that noob. I see you, noob. I'm looking at you right there. Everybody.
I don't know nothing about it. I know that.
As soon as I said that, everybody turned over and was like,
Yeah, I'm that
what are you doing here?
He wants to catch up before Kingdom Hearts 3 comes
So,
out.
let me get you up to speed. Yeah.
I play Birth by Sleep.
Yeah, Birth by Sleep. Okay, so there you go. That's a good place to start. That's a good place to start.
Prequel.
Yes, it's a prequel to part 1, yeah.
It's a good place to
But-
start, actually.
Let me start you off, okay, for if some of you haven't played any of the games or you're missing pieces, maybe you haven't played Kingdom Hearts 1, you haven't bought HD Remix 1.5. So let me start you off with this, okay? Kingdom Hearts, the main story of Kingdom Hearts, besides all the spin-offs and everything else, is about a young boy named Sora. Okay, he lives on a place called Destiny Islands. Okay, now according to him, his world is very small. Okay, at the very beginning of the game, he doesn't know anything about other characters. There's no Disney in it yet, so bear with this. This is like the first couple hours of the game here. Okay. He's on Destiny Islands. He likes this girl named Kairi, who strangely is younger than him by a lot, and he has got this guy who acts like a douche to him named Riku. Just because.
He's Vegeta.
Yeah, he's Vegeta. He's exactly. It's like a very Japanese thing. There's always that guy. That guy that always messes stuff up.
Yeah, you're right. Sasuke.
Yeah, he's Sasuke. So, basically, so Riku, right?
Take forever to get back to
Sora, Kairi, and Riku. Okay, there's 3 friends. They live on Destiny Islands. Yeah, right? Sora, Kairi, and Riku, they live on Destiny Islands. Okay, their world is very small. Okay, they don't know nothing about the outside world too much. They only know what's on their island, and their biggest concern, pretty much for especially Sora, is sharing this fruit called a Pow Pow fruit with Kairi. It's a very romantic, very sweet type of thing, and all the guys are going, yeah, whatever, get the good stuff. But, so, there's that, okay, but their world is very small. This is all they know. They've never been off their island. They always dream about going to other places, other worlds, hinting, foreshadowing, to actually see what's out there, just because. So,
From the noggin, and then all of a sudden they started going places and hallucinating.
Wasn't the first reason why they got curious about other islands was the way Kyrie came to their island?
Exactly, something like that. Again, it gets very complicated, but let's bear with the noobs out there. Let's bear with the noobs. Okay? Those Moogles, you know you're out there. So, basically, again, to kind of move things along for the sake of time. Okay, something happens one night. I'm not going to spoil it too much. I'm going to be very vague, but something happens one night, okay? And there's these beings called the Heartless that show up on their island, okay? Just show up, okay? And all of a sudden, they start going after Sora, okay? Some stuff happens with Kairi, okay? She ends up disappearing. She ends up going behind this magical door that appears in one specific spot of their island, okay? And Sora's like freaking out and stuff like that. He tries to go get some help from his friend Riku, and all of a sudden Riku's just wilding out, okay? All of a sudden, if you guys have ever seen that picture of Riku just going like this, and there's a wave coming back to him, and whatnot, Riku's wilding out, okay? There's something going on. So all of a sudden he talks about, exploring other worlds, not have the ability to do so. I'm not scared of the dark. And there's these things called the Heartless that are trying to kill Sora. Sora's like, what the hell did I do to deserve this? Whatnot. The whole opening sequence of the game that really kind of kickstarts off, the whole 30-hour plus experience is Sora fighting this giant thing that looks like the size of Godzilla. Okay, that's called a giant Heartless. I forgot the exact specific name.
Dark Side.
The Dark Side, exactly. There you go.
Did you win?
High five.
Yes, he wins. And that's all the spoilers you're gonna get.
Wait. Was the battle epic?
Yeah.
The battle wasn't
You
good.
have to play it to find
You
out.
have to play it to find out. So anyway.
Tried it again after it's almost.
To wrap up this section, all right? So to wrap up this section, okay? Stuff happens, okay, that fateful night. All of a sudden, Sora's homeland, Destiny Islands, is destroyed. Or pretty much messed up. You're led to believe at that point, of what's going on, that it's destroyed. Some stuff is going down. All of a sudden, he wakes up, and he's in this weird town, and he's got Pluto standing right in front of him. Now, if I woke up randomly, and I got Pluto looking at me with that goofy look, there are two things going through my mind. One, what the hell did I eat or drink? And two, where the hell am I? So, and apparently Pluto ain't helping either, because Pluto's just going to look at you and smile and just run off. Pluto is no help at all. So, with that being said, all of a sudden this begins the journey that Sora has across this entire series, which takes him to various different places and meets various different characters, iconic and not. Various Disney characters, various Final Fantasy characters, all kinds of stuff. Things get really crazy. You have cameos from different characters from the Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 games. Including, yeah, exactly. You got characters like Cloud that show up. You got characters like Yuffie, Tifa. Remember not Tifa, was it Yuffie and Aries? Or Aries.
Tifa comes out.
Yeah, it comes out too. But you got all these characters showing up from all these different games. And here's a fun fact, in case you guys didn't already know, and I'm pretty sure most of you hardcore fans already know. In the beginning of the game, you actually have appearances, cameos by Titus and Waka from Final Fantasy X, and Selphie from Final Fantasy 8. Exactly.
Wait, wasn't that like 2 seconds?
Yeah.
It's the entire time you're on your home island.
Yeah, exactly.
They're your other friends.
So, but basically, again,
So the island is Square Enix. Is that what it is?
it's Jump Island from J Stars.
Oh, okay. That's awful.
So,
Explains why the island's so beaten up.
yeah. Anyway.
Why are people out of the pool? This is when they shoot.
So check this out, all right? So that begins the entire series, and from there, you spin off to doing a whole bunch of different stuff, a 30-plus hour RPG just with the first game alone. It takes you to faraway places, meets a ton of different characters, a lot of action, a lot of cool stuff, and you grow with Sora along the way on every single one of these games, especially from that first game. I remember the first time I actually got Kingdom Hearts. I looked at it, I got it as a Christmas gift, I believe it was, or some sort of gift that I got from family. And I was looking at myself, I was like, yo, it's got Disney characters on it, what the hell? Like, I mean, at the time I had played a little bit of like different Final Fantasy games and stuff, but I never really dived into it. And when I actually finally popped it into my console, my PlayStation 2, from that day, I went all the way to the late evening just playing that game. I remember I probably did at least about 3 or if not 4 of the worlds and locked them straight, playing straight through after I got the game. I couldn't stop because I fell in love with it so much. It was so addicting to playing so much crazy stuff that was going on that I had to know more. I had to see what was next. And from there, the rest is history. So, the popularity of the series, right? We all know how popular Kingdom Hearts is, right?
Yeah!
We're all Kingdom Hearts fans, right?
Yeah!
That's why you're here, right?
Yeah!
Yeah, exactly. So, there's tons of people like us around the world, okay? The full series itself has sold more than 20 million copies of games. 20 million! Let me put that in perspective for you. That's a lot of Starbucks. Like,
It's a lot of Starbucks.
yo, anybody here go to eat Little Caesars? That's a lot of large pepperoni pizzas. A lot. And that just one of those games is like 12 of those things. So imagine 20 million. Okay, that's a lot of pizza. So besides that, selling all those copies for how popular the series is making Square Enix a boatload of money. Just
And
because.
Disney.
And Disney.
Why they're milking it.
And they have a ton of merchandise and different types of figurines, replicas, cosplay items, etc. It's a lot of stuff. Now, I don't know if you guys can see that well on here. I mean, I'll try to move it. But anybody know what Project Magic Kingdom Hearts is? You do? Okay, there you go. This one. Yeah, exactly. So a lot of fans, do different things. And one of the things that some fans that did, because the series was so popular, they wanted Disney to really recognize it. They wanted to recognize it in some of the Disney parks stuff. A bunch of them got together, dressed up as Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts characters and some Disney characters, and actually showed up and actually just made a meetup at Walt Disney World. And I think a couple of them tried to do it in California too, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. But I know the big one was here. Something like that. But it was a big thing. That shows you the power of a series that not only was original concept that nobody thought would work. A bunch of people, including the guys that made it, nobody thought it would work, save for like one dude. Okay.
And it would have never happened if he didn't get into the
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. But besides that, again, it's so popular around the world. Not just here in the United States, not just Japan, not just Europe, the entire world. It's all over the place. Everybody loves Kingdom Hearts. Everybody's played a lot of the games and is highly anticipating the next entry in the series, Kingdom Hearts 3. So, with that being said, there's also a variety of different fan-related content besides this. People that go on YouTube. Who here has a YouTube account? Goes on YouTube all the time, right? You guys go on YouTube a lot, right? There's a bunch of different stuff. You find a lot of fan remixes. You find a lot of fan dubbings. You find a lot of different cosplay tutorials. All kinds of stuff. All over the place. This series and this IP really is just called intellectual property for those that don't know. This IP has such a powerful resonance with not just Final Fantasy fans and Disney fans, but just with gamers just in general. It has a weight and a power behind it. So check this out. This is Kingdom Hearts around the world. This is some cosplay and stuff that I've seen and some different stuff of what they do. This is the D23 Expo. This is actually 2013. Okay, I believe that was the same year that they showed Kingdom Hearts 2.5. I could be wrong. I know one of them recently they did. And that was also where they showed the first hidden footage of Kingdom Hearts 3. Anybody know about that?
Yeah.
Okay, the actual footage that was shown at D23 that was never made public at all. It is different from the E3 stuff that we got recently, which I'll talk about later. But they have it at D23, they have it at E3 obviously, they have it at a bunch of different other conventions. I've seen stuff at Comic-Con, that's like company related from Square Enix and Disney and such. But then again, you have all these different types of cosplay. You got some people, I believe this is here in Orlando for Walt Disney World, Japan, I think this is also Japan, I think this is Europe, if I'm not mistaken, when I was actually looking through some of the stuff. But there's a lot of crazy people out there that love this series to death, that are just die-hard, hardcore fans that love this, and rightfully so. So, how the hell did this all start? Why are we hanging out with Pluto, the goofy-looking Pluto, and Donald Duck and Goofy? Well, it all comes down to this. There was this one fateful encounter one day where both the Square Enix employees and also the Disney employees, they were kind of located side by side. And somehow, by chance, Tetsuya Nomura, the creator not only of Kingdom Hearts, but also worked on a lot of Final Fantasy games, including Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, the list goes on. Okay. He ended up getting into an elevator with a Disney exec, a high-ranking Disney exec. I forgot the guy's exact name at the moment, so I apologize. But what?
Michael Eisner.
Michael Eisner. Go.
Because no one talks about me.
Yeah, nobody talks about him. Michael Eisner. So when they walked in,
Wait, who is that guy?
he was one of the really high-ranking Disney officials at the time for Disney Interactive.
When was that?
Hmm?
When was that?
Oh, I think it was like early 2000s, something like that. It was a while ago, before the first Kingdom Hearts game came out. Okay, so basically, right? This guy here, looking all badass, okay? I've seen this guy, okay? And I'll tell you about that later, but he is certified badass. But he gets into an elevator with Michael Eisner, okay? And they start talking. They start talking about, Square Enix, about an RPG game that they want to make and stuff. And originally, the original concept before any of this stuff happened, okay, was that it was actually going to star Mickey Mouse. Okay, it was actually going to be a game about Mickey Mouse where he comes into contact with other Disney characters and other Final Fantasy characters, specifically Final Fantasy characters at the time. Okay, over time, okay, Disney and Square Enix could not get to an agreement about how the game was going to proceed, whether it was going to star Mickey Mouse, whether it was going to star Donald Duck. There was even talk about that for a long time because, again, where's a Donald Duck fan who's played Quackshot?
Oh, heck yeah.
Who's played the Donald Duck game on PlayStation 1? Anybody know what's up?
Yeah.
No, just goes to show you, right? So nobody really played a lot of those games. They weren't really super popular other than people that just wanted to buy something Disney related for their kids. So, okay, there was all this combative nature going back and forth between Disney and Square Enix. So eventually, this dude over here, Mr. Badass over here, comes over and is like, listen, let me come up with an actual original concept. Let me actually make an original character, okay? And what do we get? We got Sora. This is the main character of the entire series, okay? I think it's the next slide, right? Yeah, this is the original character concept for Sora, right here. You notice some differences, right? Now, if you guys got, I believe it's some of the different kind of art books and the concept art, and also I believe the collector's edition of Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD, this comes along with it. The original story behind this, right, was that originally Sora was supposed to walk around with a chainsaw, and he was supposed to be kind of like a lion, you know, kind of like the whole plan, the Lionheart thing from Final Fantasy VIII, and they couldn't do it. And they couldn't do it because Disney, very protective of their IPs, very protective of their reputation, wanted people to be kind of connected with something that was a little more kid-friendly and family-friendly. And walking around with Mickey Mouse or this dude with a chainsaw is not kid-friendly. It sounds cool. I would have bought this. But Disney wasn't having it. Michael Lester was like, no, son, no, you gotta change this. So we ended up getting this iteration of Sora, which is a little hard to see, so I apologize, but it's now with the giant key, which we know now is the Keyblade. Okay. And again, he still has the same type of design as a lion. He has lion type of features, his tail, his ears, and all this stuff. Most of the story and the plot points were the same at this point of production, at this point where they were actually creating the first Kingdom Hearts. This is all before everything else in the crazy convoluted plot. But this is the first rendition of Sora. And then we also got the first rendition of the Destiny Islands, which is the first area of the game. And also, again, it's a little washed out because of the thing, and I know it's a little white there, but Sora, Kairi, Riku. Again, I know it's a little hard to see, but these are like the first like drawings and stuff of them. This all was like pretty much the groundwork for what made the Kingdom Hearts games for PlayStation 2. And again, from there it kind of stemmed off. Now, at that point, they started talking about cameos. They started talking about which IPs were going to show up. Again, Disney properties. We ended up getting Alice in Wonderland, okay, Tarzan, okay, A Nightmare Before Christmas,
You're
Hercules.
naming these in order, aren't you?
No, I'm not naming order. No.
No,
Just
those are the first couple of worlds in order.
oh, well, a couple, yeah. Look. Anyway, but again, Alice in Wonderland. What is it?
The Deep Jungle.
Deep Jungle, which is Tarzan, okay, Hercules, okay, Nightmare Before Christmas, Aladdin, okay, Peter Pan, okay, Pinocchio, Beauty and the Beast. Well, Beauty and the Beast, not too much because that was into the second game, but the Beast shows up in the first game. The Little Mermaid, again, and besides that, besides all the Disney properties, which are all over the place, again, besides the worlds, they also have characters that show up in different random areas. We also have the Final Fantasy characters, which the Final Fantasy characters only got one world, which is called Hollow Bastion, which is like the joint Final Fantasy worlds where all these characters just show up. And also we have a place called Traverse Town, which is like the hub world, the very beginning where your journey starts, where all the Final Fantasy characters are just showing up and just meeting up. You got characters from Final Fantasy VII, Cloud, Sid, Yuffie, Aerith, okay? We also got characters from 8, Squall, which in this game, for whatever reason, he's called Leon. I think maybe that was a design decision, because, you know, again, the whole Lionheart, Leon, and stuff like that. And, you know, I don't know how maybe it would have resonated if people knew Leon as Squall in the Kingdom Hearts games, because Final Fantasy fans knew who it was. They see a Gunblade, they knew what was up. Like that. So, besides that, we got a whole bunch of other characters that are just scattered throughout. The Moogle. Let me tell you something, I'm a Moogle fan, okay? I was disappointed when I first played, over time, that there was no Chocobos in the Kingdom Hearts universe. I'm hoping to God. I want my Chocobo dance.
I built a chocobo.
I want my Kingdom Hearts remix Chocobo theme.
I heard a rumor that Chocobos are going to be in the third game.
Who knows at this point? There's, nobody knows, but I would love them. I would love to see Chocobos in Kingdom Hearts. It'd be fun. But
That's why I built my game.
we also got other characters, again, throughout the series. Not just the first game now, but other Final Fantasy characters. We got guys like Setzer from Final Fantasy VI. Again, we got other characters like some of the different types of shop owners and such from Final Fantasy VI scattered throughout the entire series. Final Fantasy X, Titus, Waka, we got Auron in Part 2. Again, all these characters start making cameos and such. And again, it all stems from the beginning of this fateful encounter and these early concepts of drawings for the game. Here's some other concept arts. We got, again, it's a little hard to see here on the projector, but we got Keyblades, different concepts for Keyblades for different games. If I'm not mistaken, most of these come from Kingdom Hearts 2. Again, these are like all different types of ideas, like when Sora would go to a world and we actually defeat someone or do something down there, lock up the worlds, he gets a specific type of Keyblade that's related to that world. That gives him different buffs, gives him different stats, and has some sort of relevance to what's going on and such. We also have one of the Organization 13 members from Kingdom Hearts 2. This one specifically never showed up in Kingdom Hearts 2. She was in an earlier game called Chain of Memories, which is like a prequel to the game. But she ends up getting put back in Final Mix, where you're actually able to